welcome to Tuesday. I wanted to speak today about habit forming and about permanent change. I'm talking all the time on this video blog channel about how you need to make changes that will last the rest of your life, because this is not a diet, this is not a temporary fix. You are looking to change your life. Permanent and healthy change. The only way to get there is to form healthy habits and to dispose of your old unhealthy habits, some of which are heavily ingrained in you from your childhood and from the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years of your life. So to get past those habits, you need to break the bad ones and create new ones in their place. And this can be really hard, it can be really easy, really depends on the habit and how long you've had it and how programmed your brain is, how adaptable and changeable and moldable your brain is, and that's an individual thing. There's been a lot of talk lately, about the 21-day challenge, which Jason is currently putting on. I started the 21-day challenge back when I was a newbie nobody. In my video, I'll try and post this as a video response to that video so you can see the horrid video I made. But it was just a challenge to Choosing to Lose, Mandy, and also Mellow Yellow 821, Kelly, who's no longer around but is also still one of my friends on YouTube. And I did a challenge to them to stick with something for 21 days. And the whole reason behind the 21-day challenge, and Jason did a pretty good job of explaining this, is because it takes 21 days to make a habit. Science shows it can take up to 28 days. For the older and more trained a mind is, or the slower a mind is, it can take even longer. But for the average mind, it takes 21 to 28 days to make a habit. So in the 21-day challenge, my challenge was to have them eat healthy and balanced for 21 days or something like that. But I love that it's now become, because of Zirple, this big open-ended thing where you can just choose, what do I want to change about myself? And I'm going to dedicate now 21 days to making that change. But I felt the need to explain habit making a bit more in detail. I wanted to explain a bit more in depth the logic and reasoning behind habit forming so that you can perhaps see your own habits, see your own procedures in your life, and how you can change them. I'm reading this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This book delivers in stunning form exactly that which I have been preaching and living, breathing, and beating in my heart since I can remember. I was raised basically on the principles of this book. So I am just really loving reading it. I've never read it before. I'm only on the middle of chapter 3. But it is freaking brilliant. If you want to understand how I think and act and am, this is your answer right here. Anyway, there's a section on habits I wanted to read you. So here we go. This is going to be a couple minutes, but I hope that in this explanation you will find a lot of information about habit forming and why the 21-day challenge is structured the way it is and how you can define a new you by creating new habits. Our character basically is a composite of our habits. Sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. The maxim goes. Habits are powerful factors in our lives because they are consistent, often unconscious patterns. They constantly, daily, express our character and produce our effectiveness or ineffectiveness. As Horace Mann, the great educator, once said, habits are like a cable. We weave a strand of it every day and soon it cannot be broken. I personally do not agree with the last part of this expression. I know they can be broken. Habits can be learned and unlearned, but I also know it isn't a quick fix. It involves a process and a tremendous commitment. Habits defined. For our purposes, we will define a habit as the intersection of knowledge, skill, and desire. Oh, this book is so brilliant. Knowledge is a theoretical paradigm, the what we do and the why. Skill is the how to do, and desire is the motivation, the want to do. So in order to make something a habit in our lives, we have to have all three, and I will reiterate all three. The what to do or the why to do, the how to do, and the want to do. With all three of those, you should be able to change anything in your life. It is sometimes a painful process, a change that has to be motivated by a higher purpose, the willingness to subordinate what you think you want now for what you want later. But this process produces happiness, the object and design of our existence. Happiness can be defined, in part at least, as the fruit of the desire and ability to sacrifice what we want now for what we want eventually. And there is a great Venn diagram in here, right here, that shows knowledge, what to or why to, skills, how to, and desire, want to. The three must intersect to make habits. I know that there's a lot of complicated language in here, but basically, in order to make a habit, you have to know how to do it, you have to know why to do it, and you have to want to do it. So if you find yourself lacking in one of those three areas, chances are it won't become a habit. It will just be an act. So the purpose of the 21-day challenge is to find 5, at least one thing you want to do. You got to have the desire first. Things you want to do, and then that you can learn or have just recently learned or now know how to do and why to do. For example, drinking more water, eating more vegetables, exercising regularly. Obviously, you know why these are important. Once you have the want, then you can spend 21 days committing to that so that it no longer becomes an act, it becomes a habit. Therein lies the difference, and therein lies the whole purpose of the challenge. So, I don't know, I just felt like I had to make a video about this. I hope it helps somebody. I hope you enjoyed learning about why I originally started the challenge. And those of you in the 21-day challenge, rock on. Thank you for watching. I will see you Thursday for my weigh-in.